Now on Nightside, a little girl battling cancer returns to Spokane to spend her final days with her family. The story you may not know about her coming up.
We are 2 weeks into fall, but the summer weather is still with us. I'll let you know if it will last through the weekend in your First Alert forecast.
Well, get moving or get out. Officials agree that something needs to be done about Washington's largest homeless camp. We'll explain why the Spokane police chief says Camp Hope needs to be cleared out soon. You're watching 4 News Now Nightside.
We begin with a story that really touched the hearts of people here in the Inland Northwest. You may remember this 5-year-old from Spokane. We called her Miss E.
She was in a Texas hospital for specialized cancer treatment. Doctors told the family there was nothing more they could do, and it was time for Miss E, or as we know her, Evelyn, to come home.
She just wants to come home and eat pizza with her siblings. And so, and she wants to ride in her dad's truck.
Well, the Spokane community spread the word and found a private plane to bring her back to Spokane. We were there when Evelyn landed at Spokane International.
That was a moment we will never forget, and we would love to tell you that Evelyn made a miraculous recovery. That's just not the case, though. We found out today that she passed away.
So instead, we wanted to share a bit more of her story and take you back to when we first found out about this little fighter. It was Christmas in Cali Park. It's a story you'll only see here on 4 News Now Nightside. The lights were twinkling, and the 4 News Now Extreme team was making spirits bright at Cali Park for the young patients at Sacred Heart. Up on the 3rd floor of the Children's Hospital, 4-year-old Evelyn Goleta added her own sparkle to that display, letting people know she's there and she's fighting.
When they're driving by, they can, pray for us or remember us.
Her dad, Igor, told me that night the family was trying to stay positive and giving their burdens to God.
My daughter really enjoys the lights and everything, so it kind of gives us a hope, this Christmas, that it's not everything lost.
Evelyn left Sacred Heart shortly after that for a hospital in Houston. With her arms raised, she gave cancer her best shot. And this is where you may have first met Evelyn. In September, we told you about a young girl named Miss E. Weak from cancer treatment, she needed a quick ride home to spend her last days with her family.
She just wants to come home and eat pizza with her siblings, and she wants to ride in her dad's truck.
Spokane is not the city that leaves one of its own stranded. A group of do-gooders called the Spokane Quarantine furiously typed on their keyboards, spreading the message.
And within 70 minutes, Spokane rallied, and 2 pilots with 2 private jets reached out and said they're ready to roll.
When we saw her in Dad's arms, we knew Miss E is Evelyn, the girl who shook her fists at cancer, the girl with the blue heart in the window saying, "Don't forget about me." And Spokane, you didn't. In Evelyn's short life, she showed us the power of people working together and how important it is to make time for one another.
You enjoy every single good moment, you cherish every single what you get.
A short life, lived to its fullest. The Spokane community is now helping the family with funeral expenses. To learn more about that, just find this story. It's on KXLY.com.
Such a powerful message. Thank you for bringing us that story, Aaron. Well, people on the north side could have cloudy or milky looking water tonight, and that's because of a failed valve at a water pump, which meant that air entered the system. If you live in this area on your screen, you may be affected and your water may look a little cloudy. The city of Spokane does say water quality testing is underway, but residents and customers can be, quote, confident the water is safe to drink and for normal use.
It's kind of hard to get over that little murky color and still know that it's safe.
Right. Yeah. I know.
Like,
it's nice to have
Brita filter. I want to throw a Brita filter on that.
I would. And we did have one of the most beautiful sunsets I've seen in Spokane tonight.
It was gorgeous, yeah. A couple of shots from the sky cam. Even though we were stuck inside, we were watching it on camera. Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker in the studio tonight. Chris, what can we expect for this weekend?
Well, I have to tell you, our time lapse of the sunset doesn't do it justice. It really was amazing. The little bit of cloud cover and a little bit of wildfire smoke really adds to the color of the sunset. We'll have more of these over the weekend as unfortunately that wildfire smoke is not going anywhere. We are seeing our air quality vary from the good to the moderate range. However, we have not in Spokane gotten into these more dangerous areas. It's mainly just on the horizon. You can see that haze from area wildfires because our air pattern has been so stagnant. Here are 4 things to know, meanwhile, about your weekend weather. It is going to be unseasonably warm. Our mid-70s will continue right on through Saturday and Sunday. It will be hazy at times. There's no rain in sight through the 7-day forecast. I'll be talking more about your air quality forecast coming up in just a few minutes. In the meantime, here is your Saturday planner. Our average high is 73. We're heading up to a high of 76. Starting the morning off in the lower 50s. We will warm up quickly with hazy sunshine across the region. Again, expecting that air quality to stay in that good or moderate range. It may not look very good on the horizon, but shouldn't be much of a problem in terms of health concerns, at least in Spokane. I will be back with that 7-day forecast in just a few minutes, Aaron.
Chris, thank you. We saw it first on 4 News Now. The calls to clear Camp Hope are growing louder by the day.
The Spokane police chief is now also calling the site a chronic nuisance and has started the legal process to have it shut down by November 15th. This is the full 10-page letter SPD's police chief sent the Department of Transportation and Jules Helping Hands. In it, he cites rampant crime and his new expectations at the property. The chief is asking Washington State Patrol to start overnight security at the camp. They say theft, drug use, defecation on business property, violence, and shootings are some of their concerns. They also say the city of Spokane has spent $500,000 in taxpayer dollars for overtime police patrols at the site. This new letter shows their commitment to close the camp next month.
We don't believe that spending another winter in a field, in the elements, in the freezing temperatures is a safe or humane or healthy place for people to be.
The city says they're still meeting with state agencies, but they haven't been able to agree on a date to close the camp. Jules Helping Hands helps manage the camp, and they tell us moving everyone by mid-November is impossible. They say while people are leaving the site, they can't move everyone that fast. They say if the people there didn't have Camp Hope, they would spill into neighborhoods.
On the ground to second. Frazier's got it, and that's out number 3. The ball game's over.
Well, the Mariners are just 1 win away from advancing to the division series, beating the Toronto Blue Jays 4-0. It's been more than 20 years since the Mariners made the playoffs.
We've been counting every one of those years. The team has a long way to go, but this could be the Mariners' year.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Yeah, like I said, long way to go. A couple more rounds to go to get to the World Series, but it's been 7,600 days to be exact since the Mariners were able to play in a postseason game. And for them, some just getting to this point would have been good enough. But for this team, they said they want more. They're going for more. And yeah, when you're in it, you're in it to win it at this point. And if they win tomorrow, they can advance. Well, how'd we get here? Well, they got off to a hot start. Top of the first, Eugenio Suarez will go opposite way into right field. Julio Rodriguez is going to come home from second, and Seattle takes the 1-0 lead. That's exactly the start you need in a hostile environment on the road. Very next batter, it's going to be Cal Raleigh with the drive to deep right field. This carries for the home run, and Seattle extending that lead early on in the ballgame. Raleigh has had himself quite a week, helped send the Mariners to the postseason last Friday night. A few innings later, it's going to be the same score, and Suarez up to the plate again. He can't quite make the clean contact, but it's still good enough to bring in a run for the fielder's choice. The Mariners now up 4-0. Pitching is absolutely vital in October, and Luis Castillo was dealing this afternoon. In the 7th, he gets Matt Chapman swinging out for the first out. The next batter, it's going to be Rafael Tapia. He goes down, and there's 2 away. Then, you guessed it, Danny Jensen gets beat by the heater, and Castillo strikes out the side. He goes 7 1/3 innings without giving up a run. Now in the 9th, Toronto down to their final out with a man on third, but Tapia is going to ground out to second, and that will do it. Mariners take game 1 and just a completely dominant performance from them. And they find themselves a game away from the ALDS, and they can pick that up tomorrow afternoon as Robbie Ray, the former Blue Jay, will take the mound for Seattle. We're still about a year and a half away from the professional soccer coming to Spokane, but today the United Soccer League made 2 major announcements regarding the future of the club. The first being not only will there be a men's professional team, but also a women's to go along with it. CEO Justin Papadakis saying gender equity was important in the league's expansion. Previously announced USL would be getting a W League club that primarily plays in the summer months and is made up of college players, but this will bring professional women's soccer to the Lilac City. Of course, these teams still need an owner, and that's going to be Ryan and Katie Harnano. They want to build a brand and make the franchise part of Spokane.
We're really excited. I don't think Spokane totally understands what this is going to be quite yet, because it's going to be a lot larger of a deal than people realize, having 2 professional sports, men's and women's, in Spokane. This is the first time that this has ever been done in the country, launching a men's and a women's pro team at the same time.
Now, their home stadium, the downtown unnamed Spokane Stadium, is still on pace to open in time for the 2023 high school football season, and the men's soccer team will be going underway sometime in the spring of 2024. We also got a full slate of college football, a lot of big matchups with teams in our area playing top 10 teams in the country. Going to be a fun one. Craziness in the kennel as well. College basketball season's here. It's going to be a fun sports weekend.
And Alex is doing it all by himself.
That's basically.
Alex stays busy.
Yeah.
He has a dog. And he has about
I wouldn't say that keeps me sane, but yeah.
You have 47 jobs here, so a lot of things going on.
We like to think it keeps him out of trouble.
Sometimes.
We'll see. All right. Thanks, Alex. Well, a deadly stabbing spree in Vegas left a Spokane family grieving. Maris Jordan was one of 2 people killed during yesterday's stabbing rampage. Jordan's family still lives in Spokane. Her mother is a teacher with the Central Valley School District. Her father is a retired principal. Late this afternoon, her family shared this. Maris loved the beauty of life and lived it to the fullest without limitations. She was an authentic and caring friend, a devoted wife, a kick-ass sister, and a loving daughter. Growing up in Spokane, she enjoyed sledding and making snowmen in the winter and watching sunsets in the summer. Still to come on Nightside, a heartwarming story from Seattle about a cop making a difference.
Why, out of all the things she's done to help kids, trust us, it is a long list. It's a chess club, she says, is the boldest. That story's coming up.
Also, housing prices in the inland Northwest. When experts predict housing will become more affordable, Nightside will be right back.
Track live radar on the 4 News Now weather app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Ironstone Furniture and Fire.
My son's name was Carson. He was just the light of my life. His anxiety and his inability to sleep caused him to purchase a pill from Snapchat, and we know that it's what killed him. Congresswoman McMorris Rogers is bringing awareness to this. She personally reached out to me. She took the time to hear Carson's story. She has been driven in trying to prevent further loss.
I'm Kathy McMorris Rogers, and I approve this message.
It's like the Avengers have arrived.
I'm here to have some fun.
The buzziest late show on Hollywood Boulevard. Jimmy Kimmel Live.
Is there anything he won't brag about?
Truckloads and truckloads of new mattresses have arrived to all Walker's Furniture locations. So we're now overstocked with the biggest selection of top name brand mattresses we've ever had. So Walker's is offering no minimum purchase, no money down, no interest for 5 years with massive markdowns on Beautyrest Black and Serta iComfort mattresses with special 5 years no interest financing.
So you can start sleeping better and pay for it later. Improve your sleep for less at Walker's.
It's a 4-day price crash today through this Monday at all Cal locations, where they are loading up the lots with hot buys and big markdowns, plus giving you up to 110% trade-in value for your old ride. Today through this Monday at Cal.
I proudly served our nation and fought for freedom abroad. I never expected to see our temple of democracy ransacked here at home. It's so dangerous that MAGA Republicans, like Mitch McConnell's handpicked candidate for U.S. Senate, Tiffany Smiley, continue to question the 2020 election. Their big lie is a direct threat to our elections and our democracy. Join me in defending America. Say no to Tiffany Smiley before it's too late.
I'm Patty Murray, and I approve this message. 4 News Now is brought to you by Mainstream Electric Heating, Cooling, Plumbing.
Thanks for staying with Nightside. The housing market is beginning to cool off in Spokane. More houses are available. The prices are starting to drop. This is partially because of rising interest rates, which are now above 7% in Washington.
Now, some experts are now predicting that overvalued housing markets like Spokane's and Boise's will experience a dramatic drop-off in prices as more houses become available. But experts believe that isn't going to happen soon. One of those reasons is basic supply and demand. While the number of available houses is growing, it's not nearly high enough to level out pricing.
An average or a balanced market, which is balanced between sellers and buyers, or seller's market and a buyer's market, is around 5 to 6 months. Right now we're seeing about a 2.5 month inventory. The National Association of Realtors says that we need about 114,000 homes. We only have about 89,000 homes in Spokane.
Economist Steve Peterson does feel confident that the average price will slowly level out over the next several months.
Mostly cloudy skies tonight. We have those few high and mid-level clouds. They're not especially thick, but they're filtering our starlight. 49 degrees for an overnight low. Tomorrow, a high of 76 degrees. The clouds clear. That haze will remain. Again, I don't think our air quality will be in too bad a shape, in that good to moderate range. However, if you are especially sensitive, and there will be pockets where it may be worse, do take care. Your satellite and radar, nothing on the radar. It is dry across the western United States, but we do have some clouds moving through our ridge. Those will continue to thin as we get into the overnight, and expect some sunshine to start the day tomorrow. Air quality right now around the region, primarily in the moderate range. We've had some pockets up around Bonners Ferry and that Kootenai Complex fire, as well as through the east slopes of the Cascades and the Chelan area down into Wenatchee, where it has gotten into the unhealthy and unhealthy for sensitive groups range, and may again off and on through the weekend. We don't have much of a breeze, as you can tell by, well, just being around the inland northwest the past several days. And so the wind is not stirring up our smoke, and it is just continuing to build under this ridge of high pressure. And so that haze will be with us until we see a more dramatic change in our weather pattern. We need a cold front. Overnight lows tonight will be down in the 40s in most locations, 39 up in Colville, 54 in Kellogg. Our highs tomorrow in the 70s and 80s. Here's a look at your planning forecast. We'll be hazy through the weekend. We'll start to see a little bit of a change the beginning of next week, but it's not going to hold. We're back into the sunshine in the 70s as we get into the end of the week. I'll be back to explain what's going on there in just a few minutes. Aaron.
Sounds good. Thanks, Chris. A Seattle detective went beyond the call of duty by changing the lives of young people with the game of chess.
With her kindness and encouragement, she uses the game to show kids in her community they can achieve more than they ever dreamed. Tonight on Nightside, CNN's Natasha Chen has this story.
How you guys doing?
Denise Bolden goes by Detective Cookie.
Don't judge me, but I don't know how to play chess.
That's okay. I can teach you.
Teach me.
Known for her weekly chess club.
I want you to act, not react.
And for bringing sunshine to the Seattle rain.
I love to dance.
The former model and Soul Train dancer grew up on the south side of Chicago and saw how police harassed her brothers.
Make them get on the ground, search them, and then they just leave. No explanation.
But she also remembers a kind officer at school.
We could come to him and talk to him just about anything.
She has now modeled his community spirit and trust, rising to the rank of detective, serving Seattle Police's youth outreach program.
You are welcome here.
She mainly works the Rainier Beach neighborhood, designated in 2010 as the country's most diverse zip code based on U.S. Census data. She plays with kids, helps them find jobs, pays for groceries, gives out her cell phone number.
Someone would text me and say, this is the name of the person who did it.
Yet her boldest move, starting a chess club in 2006. When neighborhood children first asked her, she couldn't really play.
Actually, I beat you in a chess game. I put restrictions on myself. I said that I wasn't smart enough to play chess.
But she quickly learned.
Life is like chess. If you're not careful with what you're doing, It's going to catch up with you. There's going to be consequences.
Chess wasn't an easy sell to all children.
One kid raised his hand. He said, I don't play chess because chess is for smart people. Another kid raised his hand, I don't play chess because chess is for white people.
But she showed them how to think beyond stark black and white terms.
You could threaten me with this, but then I'm going to take the threat away. There's another better move for you.
Jabril Hassan joined her chess club when he was a teen.
I had like behavior problems. My parents, they had to take me out of school.
But Detective Cookie set him on a path to college.
Like, she really changed my life.
He studied criminology because of her and is now a professor at Bellevue College and Seattle University.
If Detective Cookie were a chess piece, which one would she be?
Detective Cookie for me is the queen on the chess board because she has invested interest in the protection of community. She just happened to be a police officer. She's actually like a teacher. She's actually like a social worker.
So revered, a chess park has now opened in her name.
It's a dream come true. Check. Everybody plays chess every day, no matter what you're doing. You got to make a move. You got to make a decision.
Natasha Chen, CNN, Seattle.
Well, we are in the thick of the high school football season as some of the top teams in our region went head-to-head. Alex Crescenti will have the highlights coming up in Friday Night Sports Extra. Nightside will be right back.
Download the 4 News Now app today. There's never been a better time to get the luxurious quality and refined style you envision for your home. During National Karastan Month, receive up to a $1,000 rebate on beautiful Karastan carpets.
Save up to $1,000 on Karastan flooring at Sandpoint Furniture Carpet One.
Democrats in Washington are threatening our way of life. Reckless spending fueling inflation. Shutting down energy production here at home. A push to defund the police. Kathy McMorris Rogers is fighting every day to stop them and protect Eastern Washington. Cutting spending to curb inflation. Unleashing American energy production. And making sure law enforcement has the resources they need. Kathy McMorris Rogers, our voice.
I'm Kathy McMorris Rogers, and I approve this message. Some days your body is a temple, and some days the temple wants sugar. You might relieve stress naturally on Monday and plan for it on Tuesday. Because being human isn't always so fries or salad. Sometimes it's both. So relax with essential oils or a glass of Cab. Fall asleep with melatonin and wake up to caffeine. With traditional medicine and alternative remedies, there's no wrong way to treat life at Rite Aid. And now, get your flu shot and updated COVID-19 booster with easy scheduling plus walk-ins available daily.
There's never been a better time to get the luxurious quality and refined style you envision for your home. During National Karastan Month, receive up to a $1,000 rebate on beautiful Karastan carpets.
Save up to $1,000 on Karastan flooring at Sandpoint Furniture Carpet One.
4 News Now is brought to you by Wendell Motors.
Your weekend forecast, we're going to keep things going just like we have. Temperatures in the mid-70s with hazy sunshine. We'll start the mornings off in the 50-degree range, upper 40s. But there are some changes trying to happen. This is our jet stream analysis. We have a ridge of high pressure in place for the weekend. This is Sunday night, and that's when we thought we might start to see some more dramatic changes, but they are being thwarted. High pressure winning out over low pressure. Low pressure dropping down out of the Gulf of Alaska, but we have a ridge of high pressure that is reasserting itself from the Pacific. High pressure is going to win in this case, so that area of low pressure that just keeps getting further and further away from us, depending on the latest computer model run, is going to create a little bit of a northwesterly flow for early next week, which could push out some of the wildfire smoke, and it's going to cool our temperatures down just a tiny bit. Here's our temperature trend over the next 7 days. This white line right here is average. We'll have that little bit of a dip on Tuesday, upper 60s. That's still 10 degrees above average, and then we're right back into the lower 70s. October 15th through the 21st, that 8 to 14 day forecast. A strong signal of above average temperatures and also a very convincing argument for below average precipitation. Pick of the night tonight. The combination of that wildfire smoke and the few clouds drifting through sure has made for some pretty sunsets. Here's the sunrise from Linda Hubler on the Rathdrum Prairie. She took this picture this morning just a few minutes after 7 o'clock in her garden there. Some garden ornaments there in her yard and beautiful Rathdrum Prairie, one of my favorite spots in the inland Northwest. Kirsten?
Gorgeous. Thank you, Chris. Well, he may not be a caped crusader, but he is flying solo tonight.
So we'll never know. They never give away their secret identities. Well, it's Friday Night Sports Extra. Alex, what's happening?
Well, I'll tell you something, Aaron and Kirsten. You're talking about a super identity, alter ego. Russell Wilson was going by Mr. Unlimited, and he was very limited last night. And let me tell you, we actually have touchdowns to show you in our highlights with Friday Night Sports Extra. Unlike watching the Broncos and the Colts, Luna, your team needs some work.
Ooh, let's ride, Alex.
Ooh.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Findlay Downtown Toyota.
Good morning. I'm Dr. Sean Murphy. I'm an attending.
Meet our new first years.
Newbies.
Don't call them that. Sorry.
Welcome back, Chief.
Dr. Murphy, you saved my life.
You're welcome.
I can do all the duties of chief surgeon.
You okay?
No.
You're never going to be the doctor you were, but you have no idea the doctor you're going to become.
The Good Doctor, Monday on ABC and stream on Hulu.
This holiday weekend, More Furniture is offering a very special way to save.
In addition to our store-wide sale pricing, you'll get a $100 gas gift card for every $1,000 you spend.
Just in time for holiday travel, you can earn up to $1,000 in gas gift cards and get all the furniture you need in time for entertaining season.
Visit More Furniture this holiday weekend for our best sellers and newest arrivals, all on sale.
Preview all sales specials at morefurniture.com.
It's a 4-day price crash today through this Monday at all Cal locations, where they are loading up the lots with hot buys and big markdowns, plus giving you up to 110% trade-in value for your old ride. Today through this Monday at Cal.
These doors are closed because it's too dangerous to ask employees to work here anymore. Think about that. For decades, Patty Murray has spearheaded reckless policies that lead to shortages, inflation, and so much crime that you can't even get a cup of coffee from the hometown shop on Capitol Hill, even if you could still afford it. 30 years in the Senate, and this is what she has to show for it? If she won't do the job, I will. I'm Tiffany Smiley, and I approve this message.
Get you up to speed on everything happening as you start your week.
Plus, artwork and activism at SFCC to honor Indigenous Peoples Day. That's Monday, starting at 5 a.m. on Good Morning Northwest.
Well, welcome into another edition of Friday Night Sports Extra. We are now in the thick of the high school football season, no matter where you are. Idaho, Washington, starting to get to that point where every win is going to count if you want to make the playoffs, which in reality, only a few weeks away, if you can really believe that. But we had some good ones. Let's head up to Union Stadium. Mount Spokane hosting Central Valley. A good one here this evening. A potential playoff winner-take-all kind of situation here. First quarter, Bears up a touchdown, but Wildcats on the move. TJ Haberman finds Ethan Keene. He's going to break a tackle and head upfield before eventually being taken down into CV territory. A couple plays later, Haberman's going to hit Bowden Gardner in stride. He hits him in the end zone, and this game is all tied up at 7 apiece. Later in the first, Bears strike back. Dylan Gravel goes deep downfield to Hudson Dayton, makes the leaping catch against the corner, and it's all green grass after that. Central Valley back on top. Still in the first, Gravel going back in the air, really lets this one sail downfield, maybe a little too far, and Devon Khalil there for the interception, takes it all the way inside the red zone. And the Wildcats, they got it going on now. Ensuing drive, Jackson Hall takes the handoff, heads outside, gets a nice little angle there, and a block, maybe block in the back, who knows? Hard to tell there. Anyway, we're tied up once again, but it's Mount Spokane that comes out on top. And they are now 4-1 on the season, maybe the best team within the GSL. We're going to find out. Anyway, let's head over to Lewiston and Post Falls across the border. They got homecoming tonight. I'm not sure what that is because I never went. That's a story for another time. Anyway, Post Falls ball, and it's going to be thrown deep to Isaac McKinnon. He's going to connect with Alexander Shields for the touchdown. Trojans in business. Lewiston turns and Drew Hottender runs to the corner for the score. We're going to be tied up there. Bengals not going away. Lewiston at it again. This time the handoff, it's going to be Chris Richard for this little scamper into the end zone. And Bengals, look at that. How about that? Lewiston. But Isaac McKinnon for Post Falls. He's going to go deep to Alexander the Great Shields. Wrestles it away from the Lewiston defender. And oof, he's in for the score. As Post Falls goes on for the 1-score victory. They hang on, and they got a little something going on over there across the border. Now, Cheney and Ridgeline, two teams that are just, they're just hoping for a win at this point, guys. That's all it is. Blackhawks with the ball, third quarter, 14-3. Jacob Valance is going to drop back to pass, then scrambles to the goal line where he eludes a couple tacklers. In for the score. Cheney in business there. Now, a field goal on the ensuing kickoff, and Cheney tries to pooch kick, but Nate Good takes it down the sideline. And look at that little Madden skills out there, and he's gone for the touchdown. Look at this little Ridgeline hanging in there. Don't mind that flag. It stood on the field, and Ridgeline on this one here decides after the penalty, let's try a little trick onside kick. But after that, fires. It's going to be Camden Collins takes it all the way, and Cheney takes this one a little comfortably, but Ridgeline putting up a fight there. They still fall 31-15. We'll be right back.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app. At 4 News Now, we believe you should expect more from local news. Our team is committed to a community conversation and bringing you information you need when and where you need it. Numerica believes in and supports that mission.
I met Anidas 10 years ago. He didn't have bad credit, but he just had no credit to begin with. I took the time to really go over some options with him. Fast forward 10 years down the road, he's got his business account with Numerica. He's looking to buy his second home also with Numerica.
There's never been a better time to get the luxurious quality and refined style you envision for your home. During National Karastan Month, receive up to a $1,000 rebate on beautiful Karastan carpets.
Save up to $1,000 on Karastan flooring at Panhandle Carpet One.
This Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, all 13 Walker's Furniture and Mattress stores are offering a double sales tax discount. Or get no minimum purchase, no money down, no interest for 5 years financing on all bedroom furniture, dining room sets, and beautiful living room sets, as well as big mattress savings.
This is one of our best sales events of the season. Today through this Monday night at 8 p.m. at Walker's.
92.9 CCU. CCU.
It's a 4-day price crash. Today through this Monday at all Cal locations, where they are loading up the lots with hot buys and big markdowns, plus giving you up to 110% trade-in value for your old ride. Today through this Monday at Cal.
There's never been a better time to get the luxurious quality and refined style you envision for your home. During National Karastan Month, receive up to a $1,000 rebate on beautiful Karastan carpets.
Save up to $1,000 on Karastan flooring at Panhandle Carpet One.
See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.
Big weekend plans?
Yes.
I'm drawing a blank. I'm going on a flight. I will wave to you from. No.
I want to go.
You're not invited.